sure that we're recording. So when we talk about the 21st century business model, we are talking about, so let me stop my video so that you can just concentrate on the screen. So when we are talking about the 21st century business model, we're talking about, literally two business models that have been combined together so perfectly so by a company called Mining City. So we're talking about one, cryptocurrencies. Right now, cryptocurrencies, everybody's talking about cryptocurrencies, and the whole ecosystem has grown so much and so much wealth is being created. I've been saying this since 2016 that we are literally, witnessing the greatest wealth transfer the world has known. This is the greatest wealth transfer the world has ever seen throughout the history of this planet. Okay, so, and that's in part due to cryptocurrencies, number one. Number two, we're talking also about a business model called network marketing. Now, Mining City has combined these two because each on its own is very, very powerful. But when the two have combined, are really do really create, an unprecedented opportunity. I was talking to someone who is a mentor of mine, during the weekend, and this guy said, you know what? When you get crypto right, when you get this particular business model right, it spoils you in terms of other business opportunities or business models that do exist out there, because you realize that literally nothing actually really compares, to what you're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. So in this session that we have tonight, we are going to be covering quite a few things, but what's important, what we'll cover here is we're going to talk about a guy called A.L. Abramovich. This guy is, the brains behind everything. We're going to talk about who he is and why it matters for you to know who he is. And then we're going to talk about, this company called MindBest and Mining City, how the two have come together to create this unprecedented opportunity for ordinary people like you and me. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is how you and I can build really either a part-time or a full-time business with this particular opportunity, right? And it doesn't matter whether you're doing it full-time or part-time, but the income, even though you're doing it part-time, you can be able to generate full-time income. Of course, depending on, who you are. Sometimes we talk about, being in the right place, the right opportunity and so forth, but we have to talk about the very important element, and that is, are you the right person? Okay, if cryptocurrencies are literally made millionaires out of other people, if cryptocurrencies has been proven over the last 10, 12 years, if this model works, the question is, are you the right person to make it work for you? Because other people are making it work for them. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. So just by way of introduction, if you don't know who I am, my name is Lonabo Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast and I'm an entrepreneur. I literally call myself a cryptocurrency advocate, right? And not only that, I'm a staunch property investor. And I got into this space in 2015, the first time I heard about Bitcoin. I did not get involved. At the time, I was running my real estate business as a franchisee, owning a Rawson franchise in Port Elizabeth. Yes, I was running my business. Yes, I was self-employed, but I did not find what I was looking for. When I left my job after only 18 months of, landing my first job after graduation, I was looking for time freedom. I was also looking for financial freedom, right? So when I got into the world of entrepreneurship, I literally thought that was what I was going to find. Little did I know that very few people actually find that combination. Some people do find financial freedom, but hardly have, any time, right, for their families and all the other things that are important to them, right? And some people have got all the time in the world, but they've got no money to enjoy the time that they have. So this is what I was looking for. And being in the real estate business for 7 years, running my own business, I did not find this, right? So when I got involved, when I heard about Bitcoin, I was literally looking for an alternative, right? Yes, I was running my business. Yes, it was operational. I was making a bit of money. I was surviving, but I knew that there definitely has to be something out there that I could do, that I could enjoy, that I could have fun doing it. That it could make me money at the very same time. I could be able to have a lot of time for my family and for my kids. And that's where I was. I was searching for that one opportunity. So I don't know. Maybe you're here tonight because you are also sick and tired of the situation you are in. You probably are working your job or you run your own business, but you see that things are not working the way you want them to, and you are here because you're looking for that alternative, right? So this opportunity may or may not be that opportunity for you, but it certainly has been for me, where I found financial freedom and time freedom as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. How is it that I was able to find this? How is it that hundreds of other people, in and around the country are literally finding, both time and money freedom through this opportunity? So now, one of the things I'm gonna assume, with all of us on this call, I'm gonna assume all of us are here because we want to make money. Okay, I'm gonna assume that all of us want to create wealth, and and all of us, really want to know how things work, so that we can be able to create this wealth, right? So one of the things I learned when I was in my second year university, I get hold of a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by a gentleman called Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I've read so many other books that he has written, but there's one thing that is common in all his books. He always talks about the cash flow quadrant, because this is where, the secret to wealth creation lies. He says, if you look at the world population right now, 90% of the human population, basically find themselves in the employee quadrant. Why? Because that's how we're socialized, right? So the only way, we grew up knowing as a way to earn an income is simply to earn a job, right? I mean, to have a job. Now, if you have a job, it means that you are selling your time for you to get money, okay? You are giving your time in return for money. And if you're selling your time, it means that there is someone sitting on the other side of the table who basically pays for your time. Now, if someone pays for your time, that person has got the power to basically determine how much money you can or you cannot make. And there's pretty much nothing you can do about that situation. Okay, if somebody said, for this particular position, this is what the company is offering, there's pretty much nothing you can do, especially in the environment we're in right now, where there's so much unemployment. As a result, there's so many people competing for the job that you're in today. There's thousands of other people right now who can do the very same work that you're doing right now. So that is why employers can get away with paying as little as possible. Okay. Yes, they will blame it on the economy or whatever the case is, but the truth of the matter is that there is too many people who can do what you can do. Okay. So that's the employee quadrant, right? It does not matter how many degrees you have. If you're sitting here, it means someone determines how much money you can or you cannot make, right? So the reason why I only stayed 18 months here, I realized that, the money that I was earning was not nearly as, as close as to what I wanted to earn. And I knew that, every single year, if I'm lucky, I'm going to get these 5% increments every single year. In 10 years time, I will really be nowhere closer to my goals. And I realized that, instead of me having to blame my boss or my employer, or the company that I work for, for the rest of my life because of the fact that I did not live up to my potential, I decided to basically take matters into my own hands. And that's why I left, the employee quadrant, and I came straight into the self-employed quadrant. Now, yes, I came here thinking that I was going to make a lot of money, because, I'm now self-employed and so forth. Yes, I believe in a potential. I'm not lazy. I'm going to work so hard and so forth, only to realize that 90% of the people in the S quadrant, self-employed, do not own a business, but simply own a job. Yes, they've got CK documents. Yes, they've got business cards, written founder, CEO, whatever the case is. But 90% of them don't own businesses, but they own jobs. These people are basically sitting in the same boat because they're still exchanging time for money. Think about it. A medical doctor who does not work for the government, but simply, runs his own private practice. This guy For him to get paid, he needs to wake up every single day and go to his practice and see patients. It's got nothing to do with how he feels. That's what he has to do, irrespective of how he feels. Because if he does not do that, it means for that particular day, he will not be able to make money. Now, life is not a straightforward journey. What if that particular doctor who's probably had a family, has a family to look after, what if that doctor happens to get into an accident and cannot work for 3 months, has to be rehabilitated, right? So what's going to happen in that particular 3 months? So if he's not got insurance, he's definitely going to be in trouble, because in that 3 months, the demands, the obligations, the monthly obligations are not going to go away, because now shame the poor doctor cannot be able to work because the doctor got into an accident, right? Obligations don't care about, such, kind of things. So, people who are and there's so many people who are sitting here. Think of a mechanic. If the mechanic cannot work for 3 months or 6 months, is he going to be able to earn money? The truth is, that's not the case, right? So when I came here and I started my real estate business in Motherwell, Port Elizabeth, I was excited, I was going to make all this money. But then I realized that, I simply own a job here. I don't have a business. In other words, I am the business, right? So if something happens to me, or I can't physically go to the office, it means that I cannot be able to make money, and I loved, doing a lot of other things as an entrepreneur, but I realized that, being self-employed literally limits me from doing any other thing that I would love to do, which then meant I was confined to this particular office every single day. Or if I dare to get out of that and go to maybe to do a course in East London, or whatever the case is, those days that I'm away, those were days that I'm not going to earn money. Okay, so that's being in the self-employed quadrant. So these guys here, don't really make money. Okay, so even if people happen to make a lot of money here, or even here, guess what happens? These are the guys who are taxed the highest. Okay, why? The system is basically designed like that. Now, very few people actually find it possible to migrate from the S quadrant to the business owner. Now, if you look at it, all the money in the world, 90% of all the money in the world is made in this quadrant, but only 5% of the world population makes it into this quadrant. Why? It's not easy migrating from here to here. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of sacrifice to basically move into this quadrant, right? And not only that, you have to grow into a person, that is a B quadrant person, right? So your values begin to change, your system, the way you think begins to change, right? And what you look for begins to change. So these guys here, they're looking for one thing and one thing only, and that is the word leverage. Okay, these guys are looking for leverage. That is why you find that Apple has got over 200 billion in their bank account, but whenever they want to expand, guess what's going to happen? They will borrow money. They use other people's money, right? For them to expand, they are basically going to hire people to basically work for them. So they use other people's money, other people's effort, other people's time as well. There's a guy in America, back in the day, in the early 1900s, this guy was an oil magnate. He said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of my own. Why? He was looking for leverage, right? So, and once these guys begin to make money here, guess what they do with that money? They now employ that money and make it their slave, where they come into the I quadrant as professional investors. So these are the guys who have mastered the art of having money work for them, not the other way around. Okay, so someone once said, money is a terrible master, but it is a very powerful and obedient slave. It never sleeps. Okay, and until Warren Buffett says, who's one of the world's best investor of all time, he says, until you learn to make money while you sleep, you will unfortunately have to work every single day of your life up until the day you retire, until the day you die, in fact. Okay, so what's this going to do with Mining City, Cash, Bitcoin Vault, and Bitcoin? It's got a lot to do because the opportunity that Mining City presents actually gives us a chance, a fighting chance of operating in the B and the I quadrant, where now our earning potential is unlimited. It's only limited by our imagination and our effort. Okay, where we've got a chance of actually coming into the I quadrant and have money work for us. Okay, so now the cryptocurrencies mining city basically focuses on at this moment is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, and electric cash. There's over 6,000 cryptocurrencies that exist today, but mining city chooses to confine itself to these three cryptocurrencies, right? And we're gonna learn, just now as to why they actually do that. So before we then get into, how we generate, how the opportunity within Mining City works, maybe let's have a look at the guy at the helm of Mining City right now. His name is Greg Rakowski, and let's have a look at this as a way of introduction. Right. So, and then the next gentleman that I want us to have a look at is a guy called Eyal Abramovich, and he's the CEO and founder of MindBest. Let's have a look at this video. Right. So, okay, let me just check something here. Someone was saying this. Okay, someone says your slides are not moving. Okay, BM, probably on your side because someone just said yes, they are moving. Okay, but I'm sure it's something on your end that you need to look at. Okay, so moving right along. So now this company called, MindBest was started by this guy called Eyal Abramovich. Now, Eyal Abramovich is born Israeli and he now lives in Warsaw, Poland. Spent many years in China working with the tech giants in China. This guy is a serial inventor. The only way he knows how to solve the world's problem is by using technology as an engineer, to build consumable products to basically, make the world a better place in the best way he knows how. Now, one of the inventions this guy has done is, the world's slimmest electric car. He's built, the world's first wireless massager. He's built the world's slimmest bathroom scale. I mean, the list goes on and on in terms of what this guy has been able to do. And, one of the things I was shocked at when I was doing my background research on this guy before getting involved, was I was shocked to see how many patents one person can have behind his name, right? And, it was just patent after patent after patent that this guy has in his name, right? As the products that he has basically built and designed himself. Now, he came into the cryptocurrency mining space as early as 2015. Now, in that particular time, he was interested in mining Ethereum. He was mining Ethereum. And, within that space of mining cryptocurrencies, he realized that, there's such a need, of what he can do in the space. There's a lot that he saw that, was a gap that was missing in the cryptocurrency mining space. And that's what led him to create a company called Mindbest. He launched it in 2017. Now, Mindbest is one of the leading Bitcoin mining companies in the world right now, one of the top 10 mining companies in the world, though only starting to mine Bitcoins, in 2017. Their head offices are in Warsaw, Poland. They've won numerous awards for their Bitcoin mining facilities. And not only that, but they are currently adding a lot of knowledge, in the blockchain space. They speak on many blockchain conferences around the world, and promoting, the growth and the development of this space that we are in, called the blockchain space, right? So Mining City focuses on mining Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, and electric cash. And we're going to talk about why these three cryptocurrencies just now. So over the last 5 years or so, I've literally spoken to thousands and thousands of people, in and around the country about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and, this particular space that we're in. I want to say this, first and foremost, and that is, this is a dynamic space that we're in. It's a fast moving space, right? And it's a growing space. It's still a baby in terms of its potential, right? There is so much that can happen that is going to happen. And, the mining city opportunity that we are talking about today, let it be your entry point into the cryptocurrency space. Let it be your entry point, let it be your launch pad, right? Where you can generate income and also, use the people around you to learn in terms of what is, how things work in this space. But don't limit yourself to only that. This is an amazing space that is currently growing, right? I mean, right now, as I've said before, I'm a huge believer in the property industry, in property as an asset class. Right now, people are busy tokenizing and getting property on the blockchain. And how is that changing the world? The same way Bitcoin has changed the world, right? So maybe you don't understand how Bitcoin has changed the world, and that's what I'm going to explain to you, tonight. So Bitcoin is the first ever cryptocurrency to ever, be created. There was few attempts before Bitcoin, but there's one thing that they could never get right, and that Bitcoin got right? And Bitcoin got this right by utilizing the blockchain technology, where it prohibits the issue of double spending. In other words, I send you Bitcoins, but I still retain the same Bitcoins, because Bitcoin being 100% digital, that is a possibility, right? If I send you a picture, I can send that picture to 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people, but I still retain a copy of that particular picture. Now, can you imagine if that was money? It was not going to be, a perfect way to basically use money, because none of us will ever run out of money. So, blockchain technology has been able to now, prevent any of that is called double spending. So Bitcoin became the first ever model of a currency that's not owned by the banks, or not owned by the government, not controlled by banks or government or any central entity. It is literally, the people's right currency, as some people call it in China. So Bitcoin, unlike all these other fiat currencies that we know, so if you don't know what fiat currencies are, we're talking about currencies that are owned and are backed by governments. Those are your rand, your dollar, your British pound, your Chinese yen, and so forth. Those are called fiat currencies, okay? Because they are backed by the government. So, and then cryptocurrency, on the other hand, these are currencies that are not owned or controlled by any government or any one particular entity, but they operate on this notion of decentralization, where no one actually owns or controls it, right? Today, there is no building you can go to that you can say, this is the Bitcoin building. Therefore, if I want to get rid of Bitcoin, let me just blow this building up. Let me send a rocket to that building, blow it to kingdom come, then Bitcoin will be gone. There is no way you can do that, because there's no Bitcoin building, there's no Bitcoin CEO. Bitcoin is simply a protocol, just like the internet. Have you ever heard of a company that is called the internet company? You know, where if you want to switch off the internet in the entire world, you'll just go to the particular building. So the same way with cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, there is no Bitcoin building, there is no Bitcoin CEO. And unlike fiat currencies, they've got one reason to exist, and that is, you know, they are used as a medium of exchange, right? If you go back many years ago, we were using the barter system where if you're growing potatoes and I'm growing cabbages, we can then exchange. If you're looking for what I'm producing, or if I'm heading cattle and you are a farmer, you are growing whatever crops, we can then, you know, be able to change. You know, that was not efficient. And then money kept on evolving from that, you know, to coinage, and from that to paper money. You know, before paper money, there was gold, right? People are using gold coins, you know, as a form of money. But I mean, you and I know that it's not possible. You know, if I buy something, let's say, you know, 1 gram of gold is 1,800 rand, and that's the smallest, gold bullion you can get. So I can't use that to basically go and buy something that's worth 50 rand and be able to get change. So those are some of the challenges with all of the previous monetary systems. And then we went all the way to the, you know, to the paper money, first introduced in China. And then thereafter, there was plastic money where we're using our debit cards and so forth. You know, so money has always been evolving. Right now, you hardly find anyone using a checkbook. In fact, if you walk around with a big checkbook, we will think that there's something wrong with you. Okay, because money has been evolving. So we think that cryptocurrencies are the next natural evolution of money. And it's not only myself who believes that, there's so many other people who, or a big organization who has shown that by basically investing into cryptocurrencies. Okay, so unlike fiat currency that only exists for one reason only, and that is to be a medium of exchange, cryptocurrencies actually solve 1 or 2 or 3 problems, right? You will find that one cryptocurrency can be able to solve 3 problems or 1 problem. Okay, so it's a matter of focus of that particular coin. So if you look at Bitcoin is attempted to be 3 things. So Bitcoin is attempted to be a transactional currency, right? Still is. You can still use it right now to buy goods and services, right? It still works as a transactional currency, of which it will compete with the likes of your rand, your dollar, you know, your other fiat currencies, right? And then number 2, Bitcoin also attempts to be a commodity where there will only be 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist. And therefore, there's an element of scarcity. If you look at right now, if you take all the millionaires in the world and they all want to buy 1 Bitcoin, guess what's going to happen? There will not be enough Bitcoins for every millionaire in the world. So meaning the element of scarcity right there makes this particular commodity, you know, very sought after because it's good at what it was designed to do, and therefore people want to use, you know, to want to buy and hold this this commodity, and therefore the value increases over time. Okay, so as a commodity, Bitcoin is deflationary, unlike your rand, which basically loses buying power over time due to inflation. Now, Bitcoin holds its value over time due to the fact that it's designed to be deflationary. And then the third thing that Bitcoin is basically competing for, and that is the payment system. Now, by payment system, we're talking about, you know, it's competing with the likes of PayPal, Western Union, MoneyGram, your banks, and so forth, right? So how is it Bitcoin that is able to compete as a payment system? If I need to send money to Zim right now, I can only do so using, you know, or one of the methods I can use is a company called Mukuru. And now Mukuru will charge me 10% to transact. So if I do this on a monthly basis, at the end of the year, you can imagine how much money I would have spent only on transaction fees, okay? Now, so Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a peer-to-peer payment system where it eliminates the need for a third party. So therefore, I save on transaction fees, and I save also, you know, on time, right? So now, with all these 3 things, you'll find that Bitcoin excels on one over the other. Let me tell you where Bitcoin is excelling right now. As it is in its current form, it is excelling as a commodity. It's a number 1, you know, commodity in the world. It's the best performing asset in the world for all time. There's nothing that has ever performed the same way Bitcoin has, in a period of 10 years. Okay. But Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency. So let's talk about, how Bitcoin has fared in terms of its price over the last few years. In 2009, when Bitcoin was introduced, Bitcoin literally didn't have a value. Yes, there was a lot of Bitcoin being mined every single day, but it did not have value. People didn't know what Bitcoin is, and therefore there was no demand for Bitcoin, and therefore Bitcoin didn't have value. But in 2010, that's when we had our first commercial transaction where 2 pizzas were exchanged for 10,000 Bitcoins. That caused a lot of stir, and a lot of people talk about it. And then Bitcoin started to trade around $1.40 per Bitcoin. Now, I don't want you to, to mess your mind up and try to think if you had only 1,000 Rand in 2010 and you bought Bitcoins worth that 1,000 Rand, where you would be right now, because we're talking a couple of hundreds of millions. Okay, you would be really, really wealthy if you got involved in Bitcoin at that particular time. 2015, Bitcoin was 3,000 Rand. I did not get involved, if you remember my story. I only got involved in August 2016. At that time, Bitcoin was around 8,000 Rand. But guess what? For me, it was not about the price, but I got to understand why Bitcoin exists, okay? What problem is Bitcoin here to solve? And how well is Bitcoin solving that problem? Once I understood that, 4 months into that particular business, I shut the doors of my real estate business to focus on Bitcoin. Why? I knew that it was a time-sensitive opportunity that was literally going to change the world. Now, as we speak right now, 1 Bitcoin is over 800,000 rands. Can you imagine in 2016 when I got involved, 10 Bitcoins would have cost you only 80,000 Rand. But today, those 10 Bitcoins will cost you 8 million. Just think about that for a minute. So when I was in real estate, the motto, for a great investment was timing. In positioning, where is the property positioned? But in Bitcoin, in cryptocurrencies, the key word here is not necessarily positioning, but it's actually timing. When do you get involved? And how big do you get involved? How much do you get involved? And how long do you stay in the game, irrespective of what the price is doing over time? Because right now we're talking about certain points of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has gone up, to 300,000 Rand and has gone down to 38,000 Rands. And it's done that, many times at different price ranges. But the truth of the matter is that it goes up over time. So if you look at the other coin we're mining, Bitcoin Vault, we started, this coin was listed in December 2019. It was trading at $1. Today, 1 Bitcoin is about $60 per coin. If you look at Electric Cash, which is our newest coin that we're mining with Mining City, this coin was listed on the exchanges, on the 19th of February. And it was trading at around $8.70. As I speak right now, it's trading at $42 per coin. Okay, the question is, where will all these currencies be in the next 3 years in terms of value? Okay, so unfortunately, the same way I could have told you that Bitcoin will get to 1 million, but there's one thing I could not have told you, and that is when it will get to 1 million. So it's the same story here. I can't tell you when Bitcoin Vault will get to $1,000, but I know that at some point it will. I just don't know when. Okay, so now let's quickly have a look at the solution that Bitcoin Vault is offering. Like I said, cryptocurrencies exist to solve one or the other problem. Let's have a look at this video.
Bitcoin Vault, BTCV. What is Bitcoin Vault? I suppose you have probably heard about Bitcoin, and you definitely want to know more about Bitcoin Vault, the coin of the moment. As the founder of the coin is the CEO of our trusted technology provider, Minevest, we here at Mining City have also decided to mine this coin, and it was a great decision. The vast majority of clients now choose BTCV mining plans instead of BTC mining plans. Right now, Bitcoin Vault has by far the biggest growth rate in the industry. And how big is it? Well, let me give you some statistics. The coin was launched in the fourth quarter of 2019. Successful wallet integration was completed in the first quarter of 2020. The coin was launched on the exchanges in the 2020 as well. The market cap, which continues to grow daily, is already in the billions of dollars. This is quite impressive for a coin, which only came into existence in 2019. The total number of transactions concluded is over 100,000, and wallets created, 10,000.
Hash rate, 9 exahash per second, which also continues to grow.
Unique coin, right? And why the hype? Well, let's find out more. Well, Bitcoin Vault is almost identical to Bitcoin. Everything is similar, except it has more features. So in essence, Bitcoin Vault is an improvement on Bitcoin. Let me start with similarities. Like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault represents store of value. Coins can be stored safely and exchanged sometime in the future. And let's go to the second similarity, which is limited supply. Just like Bitcoin, the maximum number of coins that will ever circulate is 21 million. Transactions are quick and cheap. Just like Bitcoin, both run on the same algorithm, the SHA-256, and coin transfers are performed using regular transactions, identical to those in the Bitcoin protocol. So what is the difference then? Why Bitcoin Vault and not Bitcoin, or any other currency for that matter? Well, Bitcoin Vault was created to provide an extra level of security. How? The upcoming features are 3 private key security structure. With Bitcoin, the equivalent of billions of dollars in crypto have been stolen, and there is nothing you can do about it. Because once the transaction is completed, then that's it, the money is gone. Bitcoin Vault, however, will have an anti-theft solution.
So, when you conduct an erroneous transaction, or your keys are stolen, and someone concludes a transaction using the stolen keys, you will have an opportunity to cancel this transaction using the second key.
You might be confused. You think you didn't hear me right. But let me put your mind at ease. You have heard me correct. Very soon, you will be able to cancel a transaction. This is not a common feature in the cryptocurrency industry. Innovation at its best. You will have around 24 hours to cancel a transaction. So basically, there is an opportunity to cancel transactions that have been conducted but should not have been authorized. The Bitcoin Vault security features definitely make me sleep better at night, and they should make you sleep better at night as well. And there you have it. Bitcoin Vault has the most important features of Bitcoin, but with greater security, greater simplicity, and flexibility.
Right, so that was Bitcoin Vault. Let's have a look at Elcash.
Hello, my name is Eyal Abramovich, CEO of Mindvest, creator of Bitcoin Vault and serial inventor. And today I have a special announcement. First, let me start off by saying I'm very proud of my team for delivering our promise of BTCV's security solution. From the technological perspective, it's a success. We will continue to develop the technology, the business, and global adoption. We are ready to move forward with expanding the ecosystem. As an entrepreneur with different companies and products behind me, I would like to announce my new blockchain project as part of the ecosystem of BTCV. Since BTCV is focused on being a more secure blockchain against theft like a vault, my new project will be focused on rewards for stakers with a coin enabling free and fast payments. I'm excited to present to you Electric Cash. As our DNA is to grow a trusted community, Electric Cash, or Elcash, will grant rewards for BTCV stakers together with our business partners and give them Elcash. Also, Elcash holders could stake coins and get more Elcash, as well as something called electric gas for free and fast transactions. More rewards for everyone. Stakers will get governance power on the blockchain to vote on decisions related to blockchain specifications, like the project development and even potentially how to spend the coins of an electric cash fund. This will give the blockchain more transparency and decentralized management. Electric cash is a proof of work coin based on the SHA-256 algorithm, similar to that of Bitcoin. The ultimate cryptocurrency for global adoption and payments is electric cash. Solutions like low to no price, fast and secure transactions for everyday use, incentive-based staking, a governance-based ecosystem, and much more. More information soon. Electric cash. Hello.
Right. So the key tenets here for electric cash is that, Lcash is solving a real life problem, right? Now with Ethereum and with Bitcoin right now, I mean, if you want to buy coffee that is, let's say your coffee is worth $10, you literally are going to be spending, the equivalent amount in transaction fees because of, how the network has grown. The same amount that you're going to be spending for your coffee. So Lcash is coming to basically to try and address that particular problem where we can use crypto anywhere and everywhere, and we can be able to do micro payments as well. Meaning, even if I want to do a payment worth $1, I can be able to do so, and the transaction fees will be zero or very, very minimal, right? So it's going to improve, transaction speed. And one of the major things about it is that it's going to be driven by the community. So if you're holding your coin, that will give you, voting powers as far as the governance of the token is concerned, right? So if you think about it, none of us had any chance whatsoever, to influence any decision, with Bitcoin or any of the coins that we basically own, right? So Lcash is coming, to basically, change all of that. So one of the major benefits is the fact that, like I said, it's going to be the governance. You're going to be able to have a say in the governance of the coin. And in terms of, things like, how the fund can be spent in terms of the development and the direction of the project. And you can be able, to do some staking as well. So, and then there's also going to be a second layer solution. So there's so much that is going to happen with Lcash. So, if you want to keep updated, do go to the website, electriccash.global. That's the official website where you can see the roadmap, where it's going, and all the updates and everything that's still going to happen within the ecosystem of Lcash. So it is quite an exciting project, I must say. So now people often ask me, why now? Why are you more excited about Lcash? Bitcoin Vault is not yet $1,000, but why are you excited about Lcash, right? So let me tell you why. If you look at Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoins already mined, it's more than 18.6 million, meaning there's only 2.3 million Bitcoins left to be mined. If you look at Bitcoin vaults, we have mined more than 11.5 million Bitcoin vaults, meaning there's just over, 9.4 million Bitcoin vaults to be mined. So if you look at Lcash, only 2.5 million were mined in December. So obviously right now, we're probably looking at another 18.7, 18.7 or 18 just over 18 million Bitcoin, Lcash to be mined. So my theory is that, when it comes to you collecting the coin, even in terms of price, Lcash is still, lower than what Bitcoin Vault is right now. Okay, so even if you're talking buying and holding, this is still a lot cheaper than it is Bitcoin Vault, right? That's number one. Number two, with the number of coins already mined, so the chances of you accumulating, let's just say 100 Bitcoin Vaults through mining, the chances are slimmer as compared to Lcash with you accumulating 100 coins. 100 is just a number that I'm just making an example of, right? We can think of 10 coins. You can think of 1 coin. We can think of 2 coins. So chances of you accumulating whatever number of coin is basically obviously going to be bigger than with Bitcoin Vault. And Bitcoin is even a bigger. There's even no chance, in fact, of you accumulating 1 Bitcoin Vault. 1 Bitcoin with just mining. Okay, so that's why, right? The supply is much bigger here as compared to others. That's basically the rationale with me being excited about this particular one, right? So obviously you can make your own decision, right? I'm mining all 3, by the way, as just a disclaimer. I'm mining all 3, so you can decide if you want to mine all 3 or you just want to mine Lcash or Bitcoin Vault. I would strongly advise, if you can, to basically mine all 3. That obviously hedges you against any particular price fluctuations in the price and so in the future and so forth. So now, how can you then position yourself? You can buy and hold, right? Or you can mine. So if you look at mining City sells mining plans. So what these mining plans, how these mining plans work, what you are buying here. So let's talk about, first, how does cryptocurrency come into existence? This cryptocurrency come into existence via a process called mining. Now, mining, we're talking about high-powered servers that perform 3 functions, right? They secure the network, they power the network, and they also verify transactions. Now, for that particular job, these miners get paid what is called a block reward. A block reward is a number of coins that they get for performing that particular function. Okay, so when we say here that you're buying a mining plan called the platinum plan, that gives you 138 terahash. What that simply means that this is the type of computing speed that you're basically renting. Now, this particular computing speed entitles you to a share of the coins that are mined, a share of the rewards, of the mining rewards. So meaning, if you buy a platinum plan for Bitcoin, it means for 1,100 days, you then get a share of the coins that are mined for 1,100 days every single day in the evening. Okay, that's one. So for Bitcoin Vault, it's exactly the same, right? So for 1,100 days, you get a share of the coins that are mined. For Lcash, it's exactly the same thing. You are getting, a share of the mining rewards based on the number of coins that are mined every single day, and based also on the size of network versus the size of your computing power. Okay, so obviously, the bigger the computing power, the bigger will be your share of the mining rewards. So one thing that I also want to emphasize is that, sometimes people come and they think it's a savings plan. It's actually not. You are renting computing power, okay? You are buying a mining plan. So meaning, people, after they have funded their account, they think that, if you find an account for $600, people think when they log in, they're going to see their $600, and then after 10 days, they'll start to see, interest, right? That's not what it is. We're talking about mining here. So you will start on day 10, you're basically starting from 0. You have exchanged. It's like me buying a minibus. Okay, I take my money, in return I get a minibus. Okay, and that minibus will then start to generate me income. Right? It might take me 3 years or 2 years or even 1 year to generate the money back that I used to basically buy the minibus. So, and from the day I realized that, and every single day after that, whatever I earn after that, is pure, profit. So that's how mining basically works, right? You are buying computing power, which then entitles you to the share of the coins that are mined every single day for 1,100 days, okay? So, but the beauty of this, with mining is unpredictable. No one can tell you how much you're going to earn per day or so forth. Now, so most of us don't like that kind of a setup, right? Yes, we like mining, for what it can do, but we're not looking for only that. We're looking for an opportunity where we can earn a little bit of money, right? Where we can be able to even create wealth for ourselves, right? So to help us understand the second part of this particular model, which is called the network marketing model, I want us to have a look to hear what a guy, called Les Brown has to say about network marketing. And then we'll go into how then do we get, to earn $200 a day, $4,000 a day, $1,000 a day. How then do we make money? That's what we're going to be explaining immediately after this video.
Network marketing brings out the entrepreneur in you. And this is the era of where we are. Ralph Waldo Emerson calls it the age of self-reliance. It brings that out of you. And I think that it's easy to take pop shots at it, but remember, dogs don't bark at parked cars. People shoot up, they don't shoot down. So I just think there are a lot of haters out there who really don't understand the industry and say, oh, it's a get rich quick scheme. It's a pyramid. Now, first of all, everything in our lives is a pyramid. Everything from the White House on down to the Congress, to the Senate. I used to serve in the Ohio legislature. It's a structure that provides coaching and that has revealed years ago, there's no secret to success. There's a system to success. And no matter what organization you become a part of, the system works if you work it. If you don't work it, it won't work. But it works if you work it. And that's one 4-letter word that most people don't like. They're not willing to work. I have a friend who invited me to her brother's house to help him to get off drugs, to introduce him to a drug program that can help him. And I said, these people can help you, but you've got to be willing to do the work. And after we finished, he asked us to leave. And I'll never forget what she said. As we were going down the steps, she said, Les, I do apologize for wasting your time, but I realized when my brother knew that it would require work for him to get off drugs, that most people won't participate in their own rescue. And there are people who will be presented with an opportunity, who know that they could be laid off at any moment, who know that there's no such thing as job security, who know that them keeping their job has nothing to do with how good they are. And yet and still, they'll go to work and have knots in their stomachs, hoping when they open up an email that they have not been told this is your last day. They'll go to work hoping there's not a security guard standing by their desk with a box and say, empty your things in here and take them to the front door and escort them to the parking lot. They go in there hoping it doesn't happen. Why? Because they don't want to do the work. It's an aversion to most people's spirit.
Right. So that is Les Brown, ladies and gentlemen. And Les Brown is one of the world-renowned speakers and coaches, authors, who speaks on personal development and business coaching. So let's get right into how Mining City basically compensates us, right? Before we talk to the how, let's talk about why Mining City compensates us. Mining City uses a network marketing model where the company does not pay millions of dollars into companies that are called advertising agencies that will then put adverts on radio, television, print media, online media. Mining City does not do any of that. But what they do, they rely on the community to basically educate friends and family members about the opportunity. And those that do get involved, obviously have to only get involved or can only get involved through someone who's already a member. So meaning if someone invited you here and you're watching this presentation, probably you're liking what you are hearing, and you do more research and you make up your mind that you want to be part of this growing community of over 1.5 million people around the world, and you go to the website, you go to moneycity.com and you click on sign up. Guess what's going to happen? The system will say, who is your referrer? Because for you to get involved, you need someone already on the inside to then give you access. okay? Access to a world where, you know, you've got unlimited potential in terms of how much money you can, you know, you can make, right? So now those of us who saw this opportunity, and, you know, we know that the reason why people are not yet involved in an opportunity like this is because people just don't know. So how do we overcome that? You know, we then become the bridge where, you know, we actually educate people around the world about what cryptocurrencies are, how they work, and how ordinary people like you and me are making a fortune and changing their life through cryptocurrencies. And those that want to get involved in this particular opportunity, we then get compensated, right? There's 3 ways Money City compensates us. And these 3 ways, ladies and gentlemen, can literally make you a millionaire, right? So if a million is something that's too high for you to understand or to aspire at this stage, you know, think of earning just 100,000 Rand a month. Think of earning maybe just 50,000 Rand a month. Think of maybe just earning 20,000 Rand a month on top of what you're earning today already. So how can you do that, right? There's 5 ways. Let's talk about the first way, you know, where you can earn, you know, that kind of income. Now, the first bonus we have is called the binary cycle bonus, right? Where Mining City can give us between $200 and $2,800 per day. How do we actually get a hold of that? Now, before we do that, now I need you to understand $200 every single day for the rest of the month, that's over 100,000 Rand. You know, think of how your life can change with that kind of money. Think of the things that you could do differently with that kind of income. You know, I know for some people that will mean that they can change their address. They can now get new neighbors, right? For some people, it will mean that they can change their mode of transport. And for some, it will mean that they can be able to take their kids to the best school that they actually always want to take their schools to, but they could not afford. So $200 means a lot of people, or means different things to different people based on who they are. But I want you to think very soberly, what will $200 mean to you before I even show you how this actually works? Okay, so now that we have that mental picture, let's now have a look at how you can basically earn the $200. All right. So when you get involved, you get placed in what is called the citizen tree. This is a citizen tree. Okay, the citizen tree. You know, when you are placed, even if you are placed here, excuse me. So you'll be placed here, right? But when you are placed here, please do bear in mind that there will obviously be a lot of people who basically joined before you. So you'll have things like this above you that you don't even see, okay? So now, so you will be here, and meaning you are starting then your own citizen tree going forward. So if you happen to invite 2 of your friends into the opportunity, right? And they happen to want to buy gold plans. So how many credits are you going to get for a gold plan? It's 7 credits. So you will place 1 on the left and 1 on the right. Why will you do that? Because every time you've got 5 left credits and 5 left on the right, Money City gives you $200. So you're not going to place these people, all of them, you know, in one side. So you'll have 7 credits left and 7 credits right. So Money City only wants what? 5, right? So they will come and they will minus their 5. You are left with 2, and they will minus their 5 this side as well. You are left with 2 credits, and you get your first $200 paid to you, you know, the very same day. Now, if you see that and you get motivated, you know, you say, okay, so this is what these guys were talking about when they were talking about earning, you know, $400, $600. So if I can make $200, I can definitely make more. So you happen to make a lot more friends, you know, and you invite someone, you know, a third person who also signs up. You know, they can buy any of these plans, right? But I'm just going to make an example with a few of these plans. So if you invite your friend who also buys a gold plan, that means you get an additional 7 credits. So now you've got a total of 9. Okay. Now, how this works is that this person who signed up first here, guess what's going to happen? They're also going to get 7 credits. They benefit from the work that you've done. This is what is called a spillover. Okay. Now, if they get the 7 credits from the work that you've done, it means the opposite on the other side can be true as well. So let's say this guy here happens to understand network marketing, introduces two people, one on the left and one on the right, and both of them, just happen to buy, gold plans. So what happens? This guy gets 7 left and he gets 7 right. So meaning he gets a total, he gets his $200 in the evening, just like you did. But what does this mean for you? This means 7 plus 7 is 14. Because these guys, they're on your right, now you get a spillover of 14 credits. So that means you've got a total of 16. And what Mining City will do, they will come, they will minus 5 here. You'll be left with 11. And they will come and they will minus 5 here. You will be left with 4. And what do you get in return? You get another $200. The beauty is that this $200 paid to you in Bitcoin Vault or electric cash, it's paid to you in cryptocurrencies. Okay. So now, obviously, now that you've got 10 this side, if you happen to have another person that wants to join, right? Let's say you have another person that you place here, and this person says, you know what? I've been hearing about this and I did not make a move earlier on. So I'm going straight for the platinum plan. What's going to happen? You are going to get 21 credits. So meaning you've got a total of 25 credits, right? And the beauty is that, you sign this person up, but this person will also get 21 credits. They don't know this guy. This one will get an additional 21 credits on top of the 7 year. So, and everyone above you will get the same credits, by the way. So that means Mining City will do what this time around? They will come and now they minus 10. You're left with 1, and they minus 10 the side. You're left with 15. And what you get in return? $400. Okay. So meaning if this guy here decides to also pull the business and sign someone else here, right? And that person only buys a silver plan. That's a 4 credits, right? So meaning this guy will get 4. This guy will get also plus 4. And what's going to happen to you? You're left with 1. Now you get 4 as well. So you've got a total of 5 credits. And Mining City will come, they'll minus 5. You're left with 10. That's a 10, by the way. And they'll minus 5 here as well. And you're left with 0 credits. And what you get another $200. So here, every person being placed, even if you were to place someone, you can only come and place here. Okay. So meaning these people will benefit from your effort as much as you benefit from their effort. So imagine if you've got, your network is growing and you've got a minimum of only, just say 10 credits on either side every single day, just 10 credits. This means every single day you're walking away with $400. That's $200, 200,000 rands at the end of the month, guys. Okay. So now that's just the one way we get paid, right? And of course, the maximum you can get per day is $2,800. Okay. So that's just the one. So the second way we get paid is called the match up bonus. So how this particular works, this one pays you for having people in your team that are making money. Isn't that a great way to basically earn a living? For every person in your team who makes $200, Mining City will give you a thank you bonus of $10 for having introduced that person into Mining City. All right. So, and not only your direct signups, also your direct signups. Okay. So imagine if you've got a team of maybe 200 people, but out of the 200 people, only 50 people, are making $200 a day. And those guys, when they make, their $200, Mining City give you $10. So if they do this every single day for 30 days, meaning the rest of the month, what's going to happen? You're walking away with $15,000 just on the $10 that you're getting for your team making $200. Okay, so that's the second way. Now the third way that we get paid also has to do with your direct efforts. Les Brano was talking about the 4-letter word that most people are afraid of. Okay, some of us love it because we just love the results that it actually gives us. So the first 5 people that you personally sponsor or sign up, you then get a bonus of 5%, right? And person number 6, all the way to infinity, you get now 10% per referral. And you know, the first 5 people, any of your team B guys sign up, they get 5% like you did, and the other 5% comes to you. But once they get to person number 6, they bag the entire 10%, right? So again, there's no limit in terms of how many people you can sign up directly under you. So your earning potential is literally unlimited. Now, over and above that, there is a bonus for ranks that Mining City still has. But you know, this bonus is temporary, guys. It can be taken away at any given moment. So it's one of those things that you want to take advantage of before it is actually taken away. All right. So if you become a builder, Mining City will compensate you with an extra $100 as a bonus. If you become a city developer, you'll get $250. If you become a city manager, you get $3,500. Some of us have got this more than once. You know, if you become a city chief manager, you can then get $50,000 as a bonus, and the city mayor is $100,000, and the very last rank called the city governor is $350,000 as a bonus. So like I said, the bonus structure is temporary. You know, it can be taken away